Great. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Awaken to Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. If you're new to me, new to the show, new to the channel on YouTube, please do subscribe so you can take advantage of all the current shows, all the previous shows, all the shows coming up. It is my deepest wish, desire, and intention to bring to you these amazing speakers who are sharing their wisdom, their teachings, their experiences, their processes, their healings, their clearings, their mini readings, etc., so that we can all thrive, so that we can all awaken to happiness now. And so today we have a new speaker with us. Jennifer Barnes is here, and we're going to be talking about living beyond the illusion, reclaiming your power in a multidimensional world. And some of what we're going to talk about today is how you are not powerless, you are creating constantly. Old timelines persist through unconscious habits. You can choose the highest timeline available to you again and again. The veil is thin and guidance is accessible, but discernment definitely matters. And true empowerment brings you back into your body and your life. And of course, Jennifer is going to be taking some live caller questions today and doing some mini readings a little bit later on the call. And for those of you who may not know Jennifer, she is an intuitive guide, yoga teacher, and frequency-based healer who helps people reconnect with their inner wisdom and innate power. Rather than positioning herself as someone who fixes, Jennifer guides others back to self-trust, nervous system regulation, and embodied empowerment. Her work blends grounded spiritual wisdom, intuitive insight, energy healing, and astrology to support individuals in consciously choosing alignment, clarity, and higher timelines in their lives. So, everyone, please join me in welcoming Jennifer to the show. Jennifer, welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm so grateful to be here. Grateful to connect with everybody who's here. Yeah, lots of energy flowing as we enter into this new year, and we're not even really into the year yet. So
Yeah, there's a lot happening right now.
here we
So,
are.
So Jennifer, because it's the first time that you're on the show with us, can you just take a few minutes and just talk briefly a little bit about your journey, how you came to be a healer, yoga teacher, etc.?
Yeah. So I've always had a fascination with the human body since I was a little girl. Um, I've been in dance, I've been in fitness from like the age of two. My grandmother had pictures of me with weights in my hands at 2 years old. So always just very active, but also really connected in with the body to where, like, I literally remember being as a kid just being fascinated with the way that muscles moved and, working that way. And I went to school, I went to college to be a doctor. I was a pre-med student. And when I was in college, I was in a really horrible car accident and I shattered my ankle and I had to have like multiple surgeries. And I remember it was in 2000. I had a surgery. I had an external fixator that was holding my foot basically to my leg. They took that out in order to put metal plates in my ankle. And being like, I was in excruciating pain in the hospital afterwards, just ready to be done because it hurt, so bad. And I was lying in my hospital bed and this voice came through mid me screaming, right, telling me to just breathe. And I was just like, what are you talking, what is this, and the voice came through again and it said, breathe, just take a slow deep breath. And I was able to calm myself enough in that moment to take a really slow deep breath. And the pain was, which was probably at 1,000 at that point, went down to a 0. And this voice kept coming in and telling me, now guide your attention towards where the pain is and use your breath. And, I was like 20 years old and I was doing that. And I was so astounded with the fact that the pain was like just disappeared just by using my breath, just by using intention. And, life happens and I still was living life in a way that wasn't very spiritual, but had these little nuggets start to come in every time I would have things happen in my body, to where guides started to come in, Yeshua, Mother Mary, like all of these things. And then just really, because of being a pre-med student, like being able to see and know the mechanics and the biology and the chemistry of the body, and then having the spiritual aspects. So, and then obviously my obsession with fitness and everything that started to lead me through yoga, because when I found yoga in like 2013, that's when I was really introduced to breath and movement and intention. And so like marrying all of that together has kind of led me to where we are right now, right? So, each year it changes and it morphs, and I learn more because I'm always a little nerdy girl and I love to learn, and anything that has to do with the body and how to naturally heal, I'm all about it, like using light, using sun, using certain supplements, even, and food. And again, always the breath. So, long story long, that's how we got to this point right here. And yeah, that's.
Awesome. Thank you. And
Mhm.
sometimes, it does take, our life takes different turns, and twists and turns, but we start to recognize um, how not everything is exactly as the way it is. And perhaps there are different ways that we are expanding our being or consciousness. We're waking up to more of who we are. And then, of course, hearing that voice for the first time, it's like, what is that? Who is that? Like, why is that? Kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? And that begins the search and the discovery, even, right? And of course, all of our journeys begin a little bit like that for most of us, right? And then we start to change our inner life, and our outer life begin to become more harmonious, right? I would say, right?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. Because again, it's like it was a journey. I was still not, spiritual at that point, but as the years have gone on and the more it's like yoga. And this is why I love teaching yoga, because you learn that it's a practice, and our life is a practice. Like it's something that you've got to have the discipline and the responsibility for yourself in order to continue going. And then there are days whenever you just don't want to, like, I always say, life be lifing right now, and you just don't have the capacity. And that's okay, because it's a practice and you come back when you're ready, you know?
Absolutely. As long as you don't stray too far for too long, right? Is what I
Exactly.
always say. Just, a little break here and there. Yes, it's fine. Just come back quickly.
Yeah,
And just a little secret for everyone is that we are always spiritual. It's just, because we are of spirit, right? But sometimes our mental chatter is a little strong. Sometimes life gets in the way a little bit more, but we are always of spirit, right? We are always spiritual.
yeah,
So, I love the title of our conversation today, Living Beyond Illusion, right? Because everything that we are experiencing and seeing is an illusion, right? So how can we live beyond it, and how we can reclaim our power? Because sometimes, I don't always like to say that we've lost our power, but sometimes we're not always in our power,
right.
right? Because we're in our head, we're in the drama, we're in the story, whatever's happening, right? In the illusion, right? But we can reclaim that and come back to our power so that we can continue to create our lives in the most harmonious way possible, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And you'll, whenever you start to get really in tune with yourself, you'll know when you're not, like if you're so much in your head. Like I know now when I'm up here. And when you're up here, there's other parts of you that are uninhabited by your true soul essence. That's where, things can kind of creep in. Your auric field becomes a little bit porous then, because you're existing in other places in and out of the body, right? You might be somewhere in the past ruminating or projecting yourself already into a future that hasn't even been created yet. And so, yeah, to just be in the body and be aware, the awareness of, where is my presence right now? Am I here fully? Like, am I here, or am I off somewhere else because I'm worried or upset about something, you know?
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's important for all of us to reaffirm for ourselves that we are not powerless, right? We are constantly creating, that does not stop. But are we creating what we want, or are we creating what we don't want? Right. So, let's talk a little bit about that for a minute. Even though we do talk about that quite a bit, I talk about that a lot, but still, I think it's so important to recognize that a lot of times when we are creating out of fear, or out of not being in our heart, but we're in our head, that is when we're not choosing consciously, and that's when we're not in alignment with our true desires, etc. Right?
Right. Right. Well, it's, I think that like 2026, well, probably from 2020 and then even into 2025, we were really shown where we were making our choices from. Like, what is it that I value? Like, really having to look at those things of what I value. That way you can create from that point. What is really, really important to you? Is it the next iPhone? Is it, these materialistic things? Or does it go deeper than that? Because that's where you want to create from. How can I create this reality? And then also knowing that in that space, you're always supported. We were taught, or we were never taught this stuff, that no matter what, you can't get it wrong. And I'm huge, like I'm really bad with this. I will probably be working on this forever, is that, like, you have to realize you can't get it wrong. You have infinite amount of choices, and as long as you can take them from that space of wholeness, which you always are, but we forget, I am always whole. I am whole. I'm here. Making choices from there starts to be easier, and then your life starts to flow a lot better. And the mind chatter of, oh, I could potentially get it wrong, or, oh, the stakes are so high, you don't know what might happen. You start to realize that the universe is always supporting you. It's always there to provide whatever it is that you're choosing. And that could work both ways. So it could go, if your mind is creating more from the fear, then you're going to get more of that. So we want to work. And I feel like these last 6 years, that's where you see all the chaos, because people are like, I don't understand. What do we do? I don't want to, I don't want that. I want this, but I don't want that. And it's confusing, until you
Yeah.
start to, anyways.
Trust me, if you saw my life for the past 6 years, you would understand. I
All of us,
totally,
all of us. That's why
totally get it.
you've got to give yourself and others grace, because we're all going through it, no one is immune to it.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
Exactly.
all,
But you're right. There's no wrong. Because in every experience we're learning about what it is that we don't want. Right? So even when things don't work out the way that we want, we can see that where were we coming from? Were we coming from fear, or were we coming from our soul? Right?
exactly.
And you can see that quite clearly when things show up in your face, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, that was not exactly
Mhm.
exactly what I wanted, and this is why. So okay, no worries, right? And then you reframe, but you keep going,
Yeah.
right? That is the thing. You're always moving forward, right?
Exactly.
But but it is better if you can, be in your heart space, be in alignment with your soul's desires, and go from that place instead of fear and lack and scarcity and doubt, etc. Right?
Exactly. Exactly. And it's about quieting all of the outside noise, all of the distractions and the distortions, and just coming back to that heart space and bringing your awareness here now. Whenever I start a class, whenever I'm teaching yoga, I think every yoga teacher does this. I hope so, anyways, that we start it off where you come home, you're coming home to yourself, you're coming home to this moment. That way, when you move forward from that space. I am here, I am now, I exist. And in that space, you are whole. And it creates this beautiful silence that is just so loud, but it's like, oh, I'm home.
Mm,
You come home to yourself, and you want to
absolutely.
create
I love that.
there, creating from there.
Yeah. Now, what about timelines? People talk about timelines all the time, jumping timelines, choosing a different timeline, etc. But can you talk about how old timelines are persisting in our lives because of our unconscious habits, and how can we change that?
Yeah. So there's an infinite amount of timelines that are going on. And right now, a lot of us are able to feel that. So there's like a higher timeline, and then there's the lower kind of timelines where you're choosing from fear. And a lot of people, myself included, you're feeling both. And so one minute you might be feeling, oh, the world is amazing. Everything is going to work out. I know it. Everything's fine. And then, but then you're feeling this heaviness and this grief and loss. And that's, the timeline, which could potentially be if you continue to choose that. But again, realizing, coming back to that stillness within, like everything is going to work out, everything is going to be fine, and going into those spaces, because every choice we make creates a timeline. So so all these things exist. So again, that's another place where you can't get it wrong, because there's an infinite amount of choices. It's like those books whenever we were kids, like choose your own ending. You get to do that to a point, right, where um all paths lead to the same destination. So it's, yes, it's a thing where people are talking about the timelines, and we want to choose our highest timeline, which, yes, and not to go into fear of, oh my gosh, what if I make this choice and then I go into my lower timeline. And just know, if you have an awareness about this, you're probably going to be okay and choosing the higher timelines, even if you misstep, if you will, and take a different route. So I always say, you know what, I wanted to take the scenic route on this one, apparently. So
Apparently, yeah.
that's just what.
Exactly. There's no straight line. There's not even a straight, I'm going to say there's, life journey is not a straight line. There's lots of wiggles and squiggles and right and
Mhm.
forth, back and forth, everything. And
Exactly.
it's okay because eventually you'll get there.
Exactly. All paths lead to the same destination.
Yeah, I agree. But, and then when it comes to our habits, talk a little bit about that, our unconscious habits.
Yeah. So getting like kind of nerding out here, right? We've got our brain, and our brain has like these synapses that, if you've got your ancestral, the DNA and everything from where your great grandparents have lived in survival, and they were being chased by bears, and so it creates this whole chemical reaction in your body, and you tend to react from those places and spaces because of our ancestors and because of the collective and where it's been. And so again, I'm going to just bring it back because they're the guides and angels that are coming through are just like, you got to bring it back to coming back into that stillness. Because when you let your entire vessel know that it's safe, you're not being chased by a bear. You do this with the breath, right? You slow the breath down, come back into your body, let yourself know, I am safe. Everything's going to be fine. I'm not being chased by a bear. Everything's okay. Then you start to make the conscious efforts of rewiring those neural networks in your brain to realize not everything is going to kill me, because at the end of the day, that's basically what our systems are, we're scared of. And that's funny that they had me use that were. So past tense, because we're switching it. It's like switching off that, rewiring the network in order to go to, no, I am safe. It's okay. It's okay. And so we learn to, it's a lot of the work, whether it's with me, whether it's with, other healers work with the ancestral DNA, things like that, to let that stuff go, because it's not going to serve us anymore. We don't need to hold on to that of, needing to run from a bear. So we've got all this extra cortisol. Again, I'm kind of nerding out with like scientific technology here, but like just calming the body down. That's what it comes down to the basics, is just like when your system can sigh. And I'll take a moment to kind of slow down because I can feel people like, wait. Don't leave me behind because I'm still trying to understand this. Right. So taking a moment to just take a breath in, and then on your breath out, let yourself land in your body in this moment. And that's when the chemistry in your body changes. And that's when you can start to rewire the networks and the choices that you make.
Awesome. I love that. And I just yesterday I recorded. I haven't uploaded it anywhere yet, but I just recorded a Diamond DNA activation for ancestral trauma clearing,
Mm-hmm.
which I think will be helpful. But you just reminded me because I haven't posted it yet, but I recorded it yesterday.
I just got chills from that too. So it must be extremely powerful.
So, those unconscious habits, are the ancestral trauma, wounds, etc. It could be, or the collective, it could be our own past lives, those unconscious habits as well, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's important to always be, come back to the breath, come back to being present, and then choose from a place of empowerment and safety. I love that safety part because that's what it comes down to. People don't feel safe, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And if you're, and asking yourself, like, where am I making this choice from? Maybe you are existing in a different timeline, because again, all timelines are existing, and maybe you're feeling somewhere. And so calling your presence back, I call back all of my energy and all of my power back to me now, fully cleansed, cleared, and filtered. And coming, utilizing your words, your intention, it I think we try to make things so difficult, and it's really that easy. Our voices have frequency. Those frequencies are very healing. They can be if you choose for them to be. And so something as simple as I call back all of my energy and all of my power back to me now, fully cleansed, cleared, and filtered. I am here now. Done. Period. Mic drop.
Love that. So easy, so quick, right? Yes, absolutely. Love it. And that's something you can do throughout the day. It's not just a one-time thing, but whenever you feel like you're not present right now and you're off on a different, I like to say different tangent, worrying about this, thinking about that,
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you mentioned in the write-up about how the veil is thin and guidance is accessible all the time, but we have to be really discerning. And I totally agree because you have to really um, look at the voices that you're hearing, that you might be hearing. If it's your guides, angels, etc., great. But still, is it aligned with who you are? Is it positive? Is it empowering? Or is it fear-based? Right?
Exactly. Exactly. And again, just utilizing an intention, saying out loud, I choose to connect only with the highest frequencies of love and light, only with those beings that have my highest intention, right? Like just covering yourself or surrounding yourself with a bubble of light so that only that is of the highest frequencies of love and light is allowed in. And even, when things, because I've had trickster energies come in before, and I just specifically tell them, you are not allowed here. I command you out, and they have to leave.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, that's part of being present, being aware, not assuming anything, right? And then coming back to trusting you and your knowing, right? So you will know, you'll feel whether something feels good or does not feel good, feels expansive and light or feels yucky and icky and
Right.
etc., right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I've worked with clients, and when it comes to, discerning, like just doing muscle testing, like ask your body, show me a yes, or show me if this is in my highest good. And whatever, for me, I get like a really light, like that my energy goes up. It might be different for, multiple people, but just asking that. And then, what is my no? And for me, again, energy kind of drops, and it's like,
Yeah, exactly. And again, that is such a simple, easy, quick little check-in for yourself that you can do.
yeah.
Okay, so great little tips here, Jennifer. So thank you. Now, you know, empowerment is something that I'm always trying to bring to people as for them to empower themselves, right? And empowerment means trusting yourself, knowing yourself, being present, being in the body, and then at the same time continuing to move forward, right?
Yeah.
Continuing to choose for you what is your highest desire, or not even highest desire, but what do you desire now in this moment, right? Not what did I desire 20 years ago that that I still don't have and that I still want. So yeah, well, if you haven't gotten it by now, it probably is not really a true desire of yours. It could have been somebody else's and that you
Right.
took on as yours, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it comes down to presence. And when it comes to when it comes to desires, I always say, if you can really visualize it and like taste it and see it, then it exists. The universe wouldn't mess with us in that sense. Like it exists, right? It might just not be right now. And so allowing yourself, like, okay, well, it's here. And if I can see it, I can sense it, I can taste it, I can feel it, then I know it's here. But again, like exactly what you just said, make sure, is this my desire, or is this coming from family programming or a past life? Is this really, really what I want to look at? So the empowerment there is really tuning into yourself and asking, like, is this really what I desire? And if it's still a yes, then trust that it will be here.
The tricky part is when we're talking about time, it's like time does not mean it's going to be in this lifetime. It could be in the next lifetime or the lifetime after that.
Right.
So people get fixated on, it has to be here in this lifetime within the next 5 years, blah, blah, blah. But divine timing is not under our control.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So you learn to surrender it all and trust.
Yeah.
The trust. And I think the trust for a lot of us humans, I'm guilty of it too, is it's like there's the practice. It's learning to trust that it's gonna be okay. And if
Yeah.
something that you desire is not manifesting, then it means that something greater is coming around.
Yeah. Again, trusting that the universe has your back, trusting that you're supported, and trusting that you're on the right path, right? So if you're coming from your heart space always, then it'll be okay. And that part, the it'll be okay, is something that we have to recognize as, yeah, it'll be okay, but maybe not in the way that you perceive.
Yeah.
But everything is still fine. You are okay. Everything is fine. But you know, we sometimes have this conditioning, right, that we've picked up as children from our parents or colleagues or media. This is how life is supposed to be. It may not be exactly like that. So
Right.
trusting that however something shows up, how life is showing up for you is what is right for you in this moment.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Right. And
Trusting.
trusting that and continuing to move forward in some way.
Exactly. Exactly.
And being, and I think that, being present in your body in the moment is so key, because in this moment right now, like if you all just take a breath right now in your body, everything is fine.
Yeah.
There's no bear chasing you right now, right?
Exactly.
You're fine. Everything
Ex-
is fine in this moment.
Exactly. We've
Yeah.
got beautiful
We don't
technology connecting us all. Everything's fine. It's,
Everything is fine. And the thing is, like, we it's hard for us to stay present in this now moment. We're constantly thinking about the future, the next moment, the next 5 minutes, or the past, right?
yeah.
So staying present in this now moment is key. I think it's and in the body, because we are here to live through the body.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I can tell you.
and go ahead.
Oh no, it's okay. Go ahead. It's
No, 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 no,
okay.
no, go.
I was just gonna say I can tell you from, like I was saying at the very beginning before we got on, having been in Thailand for, the past 5 out of the last 6 months, I really got a lesson, excuse me, and learned there about presence and time, and how time just is just a thing. It it doesn't exist. It's and the patience and the presence of just doing each task and everything always working out and being okay. Like the entire culture is based on like, be here now and everything is fine. It's okay. And it's such a beautiful way to live. And I'm so grateful that I actually got to just experience it and live that, because I feel by being over there and then coming back into the States, I was able to bring that same resonance within me over here to kind of radiate that out, where it's like, I feel even here when everything around me is so noisy and crazy and chaotic, that calm space just exists right here. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, it's time has stopped.
Well, that calm space is within you. It has nothing to do with the external reality, right?
Right, right.
It's that calmness and stillness within you. So, and yeah, wherever you go, it will go with you if you're willing to be in that space, right?
Exactly.
In that state.
Exactly.
So there's a question from Sarah in the chat,
Mm.
and she's saying, "May I ask you your view on parallel lives? Does it mean no past lives if we are living parallel lives?"
That's a really deep question. I mean, all lives are happening at the same time. So the parallel lives, you can be living like in multiple spaces and places. And again, if you're feeling some type of way about something, then you're in that space. And so my suggestion would be, again, to call all of your energy back to you, so you're not bifurcating and like disjointed within your true self, because you want to be complete and whole in this space as opposed to having a distortion, you know?
Yeah. I think, it's it's tricky. Yes, there are um parallel lives, right? There are future lives, there are past lives, but they're all happening simultaneously.
Exactly.
So how you want to look at it, it's like layers, or what they're showing me is like circles within circles within circles within circles,
Hmm.
is how they're showing me. So I'm going to let you look at that. But the thing is, it's again, it's your belief as well, right? So if you believe that there are past lives, there are past lives for you. If you believe that there are parallel lives, there are parallel lives for you. If you believe there are not, then there is not for you. So your reality is based on your beliefs. Because and this is like not appropriate for this conversation, but um all of that is still all just an illusion anyways, created by the mental plane, at the mental level.
Yeah.
So if you want to believe it, yes. If you think there's a problem with it, then don't believe in it, right? So for me, I believe in past lives, absolutely. I also believe in parallel lives. So I'm having different parallel lives right now, and those are based on the timelines, right? So every time I choose something different, a new timeline is created, and in some cases, a whole parallel life has been created. Because when I was born, it wasn't all of me that came into this life. There were other lives created at the same time based on the desires I had when I passed away the last time, if that makes sense. It's really complicated.
It is
Um,
so, it's like so because even like the mind, I was reading in the chat, like it's so much for our mind to try to grasp.
yeah.
So, yeah, sure. Play in that energy and like kind of like play with it a little bit. You can manipulate it a little bit, but at the end of the day, be here now because this is where you're living. This is where your awareness
Yep.
is. So create from this space fully, wholly, completely. That way you can experience what you desire. And
And
not,
this is what you can control.
yeah,
This lifetime, this moment, this is what you can have any control over, if you even can even call it control. But you know what I mean?
right, right.
We like to think we have some control over our life. Well, this is the one. This is this is what you're controlling.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't
Be here
really,
now.
like you might be able to access past lives. Can you change them? In some cases, yes, but in most cases, no. You can access parallel lives. Can you change them? In my opinion, in with I mean, there are techniques to do that. I don't know them, but yes, you can. You can access future lives. Can you change them? Well, those are going to change based on your actions now.
Yeah, exactly. The
I
choices you
mean, there might be ways to change those too. I don't know, but there are techniques and things, but I don't know them. I just know that it exists. Um, but this is the lifetime that you have to worry about or work on, I guess you could say.
exactly.
A great
And
question.
right. Well, and also where you're creating from, because that brings us back to our topic is the empowerment. Like, where do you want to create your lives from? A space of disempowerment or in your power?
Yes, exactly. And you are going to be in your power when you're creating from here,
Exactly. Be here now.
but here now. You'll make the most change. You'll get the most traction out of working on your life now. You can do some things for the past, some things for the future, but it's not going to be any major things. I don't think that you can change. But right now, here where you are is where you can make the great change, the greatest change or impact or um what are these yeah, impression is what they're saying.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we create our own reality, then anything is possible. Anything is possible to a degree, for sure, absolutely. But are you willing? But like again, what are you choosing, and where are you coming from, right?
Yeah.
What's your intention, and what is are you wanting to change your future lives? Well, work on this one because Again, that's a whole other entity. It might be you, but it's still another an aspect of you having that life,
Do we know
right?
how much? Right. I was just reading that question. Do we know how much is possible? And infinite, just infinite. It's infinite. Again, it's
But
the,
it's it's how much you can believe, like what your belief
yeah,
system is.
yeah. I always
If
say,
you
even in my
truly believe,
classes,
if your subconscious, sorry, if your subconscious believes, then yes. But if there's something in your subconscious that says, no, that's BS, that
mhm,
can't be possible, then you won't.
right.
Then nothing's, things are gonna, that's my impression, but
Right.
that's
Well,
my
and I'll just
understanding.
give a brief example. When I was in Thailand, right before I came back here, I fell and I really badly sprained my ankle. I really badly sprained, like to the point where I thought it was broken. And so I immediately got back to my apartment, went down to the beach, which probably wasn't a good idea because it was having to walk a lot. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to put my ankle in the ocean. I'm going to soak up whatever light codes and healing rays from the sun. And I am going to trust that my foot and my ankle are going to heal. And I kept asking my guides and my angels, again, discerning only the highest and greatest, is my ankle broken? No, it's just badly sprained. I kept hearing it over. And even when the pain was like excruciating, I was like, I was crying. Are you sure it's not broken? It's not broken. You can choose for it to be, though. You can go into that timeline. And I was like, nope, 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 nope. And so, sure enough, the next day, I went to a yoga class. I was still hurting, but then I went to an acupuncturist. I had it worked on, and I kept saying, you know what? It's just a bad sprain. It's just a bad sprain. I created the reality that I wanted. That yes, I knew I fell and I hurt it. So I'm not going to totally spiritually bypass the fact that I'm in pain, but it could have been a lot worse. And I could have chosen it to be broken and it would have been. And I stepped in my power and I was like, no. And I kept saying over and over
Exactly.
again, I am healing, I am healing. So I created that. I think,
Yeah. I love that. Great example. Yep. So there's a question. I don't know if there was a question there, Eleanor, or not. Um, no, I don't think there's a question per se. Yeah, for sure, our words are extremely powerful. Our thoughts are extremely powerful. Our beliefs are extremely powerful, right? So
yeah,
be careful what you think, as well as believe, and as well as what you say. The uh, yeah, I think that's all I had for that.
well, and even the
Um,
thoughts, right? Because the
but
thoughts are going to come in, and sometimes it's subconscious. Just catch yourself. Like, don't beat yourself up. Like, oh man, I had another negative thought. Okay. Like just delete it. Like I'll find myself doing that. I'm like, delete, delete, delete. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. That's not what I mean. And then, just replace it with something that your mind will actually believe. Because that's another thing where you can say, I am a millionaire. I am a millionaire. And if feel that in your body. And if it's not landing, then your mind is like, I'm calling BS on this. And so you want to start to say things like, I love money. Money, if it comes to that, or I am healthy, beautiful body, wise body, thank you, body. I love you, body. And then your body just like lights up, things like that. I am creating wealth, doing the things that I love. That's how you start.
exactly. That's how you start. Don't just start with "I am a millionaire" or "I am a money magnet," because it's something your subconscious does not believe, and it's going to say no.
Yeah,
And so you can continue doing that for like years, but nothing's going to happen. So it really has to be something that your subconscious can
yeah,
start to believe, right?
exactly.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So we are going to take some questions. And if you want to if you would like to work with Jennifer, you can raise your hand. Um, a friend called it rewriting the script. It works miracles. Yes, absolutely. And that's something we all can do. We can all rewrite the script, right? Once, if we have an intention or when we catch ourselves, right? And the magic is even in that, in catching ourselves, right? So we're not, and that happens when we're more present, right? We're willing to be present and aware,
Yeah.
right? So we're going to take some questions in just a second, but first, so go ahead and raise your hands. But I'm just going to quickly share. Oh my God, let's just talk about the special offer first. I'm just going to share my screen, and then we'll take some questions. I think it's this one. Okay, so this is, again, the first time that Jennifer's been with us, right? So it's her first time here, and so she is offering a package that has 2 master classes and a 45-minute personal healing session with Jennifer. So Jennifer, do you want to just quickly talk about the 2 master classes and the personal session?
Yeah. So the 2 master classes are going to be based on as we enter the new lunar year, right? February, what is that? 17th, 19th, one of those days.
17th.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
17th. Yeah.
so the first call will go over like clearing the limiting beliefs, clearing the ancestral DNA, the patterns and things like that. And um, typically what I do on my calls whenever I do that is tune into the energy beforehand. We'll talk about the astrology. I'll kind of get some downloads and some messages from what the spirit, what the guides want to bring through. And then based on what everybody is needing in that space, we'll start to clear a lot of the stuff from there. And then the second call will be any extra clearing that needs to happen, and then bringing in activation, bringing in that energy of the fire horse that's coming in, and like really anchoring us into our power, so activations, transmissions, channeling, things like that is what I'll do. I'll probably take some questions and go from that space. Yeah.
So, yep. And then the personal session, what is that like? What can people expect?
The personal session is basically you just bring whatever it is that you want to work on, the challenges. I have also in my personal sessions lately been teaching people kind of how to connect with their guides and angels themselves if they want to start channeling and learning how to do their own healing work. I do a lot of light language, so that tends to get attuned in for people if that's something that you're wanting to learn, is the light language. Also like the toning and the frequency, because again, our voices have so much power if you set that intention of wanting to create healing frequencies with your voice, or even your hands and things like that. So it's whatever that you would want to work on. And the guides and your higher self bring that through source. I work directly with source. And then again, the guides, angels, ascended masters come through if they want to come play, whoever needs, or
Awesome.
whoever wants to support. Yeah.
Awesome. So that package is 147, and there is a 2-part payment plan as well. There's some wonderful testimonials from folks who have worked with Jennifer in the past, so you can check those out on the special offer page, as well as a much more thorough bio for Jennifer as well. And again, the package is 2 master classes and 1 45-minute personal session for 147. And if you are an Inner Circle member, please, of course, use your gift code as well. It's awesome. Thank you so much, Jennifer. It's an awesome, amazing package. I'm sure people will find a lot of value from it as well. Let me just go back to where I was. Oh, nope. Hold on. Okay, there we go. All right, so if anybody has any questions regarding the special offer, great. If you have questions about what we talked about or would like want to work with Jennifer one-on-one, you can raise your hand. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. I'm not sure if I did or not, but you can raise your hand or you can type your question in the chat. So Tanya has raised her hand. Tanya, you want to unmute?
Hello, Jennifer. Hello,
Hi.
Alondra. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Happy New Year.
You can hear me?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
thank
You
you.
can hear
yes.
me. So my question is there anything like subconscious that we are not aware of? Because at that at my age, I already I know my beliefs, I know my reactions, and um, I can not control. I still don't control them completely, like 100%. I still go into state, and then I analyze it. But is there something subconscious that we are not aware of, and so we cannot kind of change it, or you know, is there
That's
anything like?
too general, Tanya. Something specific. Because we all have subconscious beliefs that we're not aware
No,
of.
yeah. I mean, if I have, for example, blockage, something from my previous life, and I'm not aware of it, how I can work on it? Like, how do I work on it?
Yeah. So, do I have permission to connect with your energy field,
Yes,
first of
please.
all?
Thank you.
Beautiful. Because what I'm feeling for you specifically is kind of like a blockage in your solar plexus. There's a space
Hmm.
between your solar plexus and the sacral area that's kind of blocked. So, if you see my hands moving, I'm moving it through. But here's the thing, my love, is that we're human. And so we're always going to have a certain reaction, and it's to certain things, right? We're not going to be perfect, if you want to say that, 100% of the time. Whenever we attach to the story or start to judge ourselves for having a certain reaction, that's when you hold on to it. When you can just give yourself grace in the moment and just be like, oh, I did it again. You know, let I work with anger a lot, right? And
Mm.
then I beat myself up for getting angry because I'm like, oh, you should be better than that, right? You know, that stuff. And I've learned to just let myself sit in it for a bit. Like,
Mm.
how long am I going to be sitting in this, marinating in this crap? Because it doesn't feel good. And then you just say, you know what, I'm done. And then be done with it and move on. So if you've got these stories or things that don't seem to go away, as soon as you release the story around it all or the judgment,
Mm.
then they might just float away and not exist. But you did have a little bit of a blockage in like the solar plexus area. So we worked on clearing that out so that
How interesting
flow.
that you said solar plexus, because I had heart palpitations a few weeks ago, like all of a sudden, and quite severe. You know, I was a bit scared.
Mm,
And one my friend said that my heart is trying to change the vibration, and my mind is stopping it. And I said, well, this is certainly not conscious, because mentally I want to change, and I think I'm ready to change. But what would that be? Subconscious, something subconscious, fear. I don't know even.
right.
So it's very interesting that you mentioned the solar plexus. Yeah.
There's a fear there of wanting to of because you want to step into your power, right? And then
Mm.
whatever that little blockage was, because they're not showing me, they're saying it's not even really important, was
Mm.
trying to keep you safe. Like that's all it's doing,
Mm.
just trying to keep you safe because there's that part of you that wants to step into your power. And that part was trying to protect, like, no, because in the past, in a past life or whatever, I was killed for stepping into my power. So we're going to stop that energy right now. Right. So when you can clear that out, it's like, oh, okay, I'm not in that life anymore. I am here. I'm okay. It's going to be fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, my love.
You make it clear for me. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
You're so
Appreciate,
welcome.
Jennifer. Thank you, Laura, for taking my question. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. And I just have to say, because Tanya talked about heart palpitations, if you are experiencing any physical symptoms, emotional symptoms, mental symptoms, anything like that, please do see a medical practitioner. We are not medical practitioners.
Right.
So we are just talking about energy and choices and empowerment and all that kind of stuff. We're not diagnosing anything or curing anything or anything like that. But a lot of people do. I myself experience heart palpitations quite a bit. And I actually went to the doctor, as some of you know. I had a lot of tests done last fall, and everything is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everything was fine.
It
But
happened to me too.
I was afraid I was suddenly developing a heart condition or something, but nope, everything was fine. But I did go because it was getting to be, severe and so much and all that kind of stuff. And I practice what I preach, right? So when something's happening, please get it checked out. But a lot of people do experience heart palpitations in this, when you're raising your vibration, when you're working with energy, when you are shifting timelines, it's etc. A lot of stuff happens. But if you're worried, please see somebody, okay? So
Yeah.
Cindy, you want to unmute?
Hi, Shefali. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hello. I would like to know if my guides have any messages or guidance for me. I've been trying to send out energy healing to my stepfather, who's recovering from a stroke, and it seems like he's been making some progress. But then things kind of set him back. So I've been sending healing every day. Just wondering if the guides have any words of advice to me.
And I'm just going to say, because again, this is going to go on YouTube. He is in the hospital. He's getting medical care. So, all of
Yes.
that stuff. So we are talking about other alternative ideas for him.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and what I'm seeing is, again, coming back to the words, right? Instead of I'm sending him this energy of healing, just visualize him like surrounded in love and light. Here's what a practice that I love doing. Because whenever you can radiate from this vibration, everything you touch, everything that surrounds you is engulfed in this beautiful energy. It's just like visualizing people, places, and things that you absolutely love that light you up. I mean, you start thinking about, I don't know, from a puppy or a kitten or your child or just something that brings you so much joy, the people that you love in your life and fun experiences, and then see this person that you love, obviously, because you want him to be healthy and, perfection, divine perfection, quote unquote, right?
Yes.
Utilize that energy that you're creating from within you to see that in your world, whether it be for a person, whether it be your environment. Just using the frequency of joy and absolute, pure, unconditional love will balance out everything, all things.
That makes a lot of sense. Does it also help to visualize that person speaking again and walking again and things that they were used to doing? Is it good to do that as well?
Yeah. Or just see them as light, because at the end of the day, that's what we all are. The specifics, you don't have to get down to the specifics, just seeing the light, seeing them surrounded in this beautiful golden light.
Hey, that makes so much sense.
So Cindy, I would say, imagine or vision them in their healed outcome, whatever that is for them. And then, I don't send healing, right? So, because some people will receive it, some people will not. It's just, it's not appropriate to force anything on anybody, but you can send blessings, and blessings are a form of energy that they can then utilize and use in whatever way is appropriate for them. Whether it's, whether that's for healing, whether that's for rest, relaxation, whatever happens to be. His soul, his higher self will choose that. So blessings are easier to receive than healing because not everybody wants to receive healing.
Right.
Okay, so you can send blessings and unconditional love.
Well, and for you personally, excuse me, that just creating that frequency, right, of joy from within by, taking a couple of minutes every day to just marinate in that space is going to shift your world. And so the people that are connected to you, they can either choose to shift as well, or because again, we have free will. But for you, right, it comes down to like what they say, what we've been saying for so many years, putting on your own oxygen mask first, right?
Okay, well, that makes so much perfect sense. Thank you so much. I appreciate your kind words of wisdom.
Awesome. Thank you, Cindy.
You're welcome.
Oops, hold on. All right. Anybody else have a question for Jennifer? I feel like Stella wants to.
Hi,
She's just getting ready. I knew it.
how are you today? I'm in peace. Why I listen to the whole program quietly. Mostly I have
Oh, nice.
so that's experience, Jennifer, is fantastic.
Oh, thank
Live
you.
in a city that is I live in Las Vegas. So it's not a very quiet city.
No, it's not. But there's so much light there.
It is always.
Lots of lights.
I was just wondering if my guys have any sense for me any sense that they want me to know.
Something specific, Stella.
Well, what to do this year? What am I ready to do this year? I don't know yet.
You, first of all, I just have to say, you have such a beautiful spirit. I'm just so like, I'm just enamored with you right now. You have no idea. Um, the light that you are bringing into Las Vegas is having such a profound effect, more so than you even know.
Wow.
Because your presence alone, if you're seeing my reaction to you, this is the way you are. Oh, I have chills. Oh my God. This is how you are affecting every person you come in contact with. Do you realize that, my love?
No, I didn't realize that.
You have such a beautiful spirit and heart, and it radiates like it's so loud and wide and expansive that everything you touch is just like beauty and love and kindness.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So what is the message? Just keep doing that. Just be you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's good to know.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes I go and I say, why does it's like everybody knows me, and I don't know, you know. And I said, wow, it's funny. Realize.
As they see you. They see you. Yeah, you're just radiating just like the lights in Vegas.
Oh my God. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're so
For that.
Thank you, Stella.
That made my day.
Just be you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just be you.
Thanks.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Eleanor has a question. You want to unmute Eleanor?
Yep. There. Okay.
There you go.
Hello. So with regards to what I put in the chat earlier about the control issues, and I'm setting an intention, doing meditation and journaling, but do you have something specific, a tool that I could use to um, help work through this and release them?
To work through what?
Control the
The
control
control
issues?
issues. Okay. I I would work on just visualizing yourself holding on to something really, really tightly and then just letting it go. Like just and maybe even physically just like squeeze every single muscle in your face and your body and then just let it go. Another thing that I do whenever I work with clients that do that is I'll ask them to visualize themselves at a beach. It's nice, it's sunny, it's warm, it feels so good and juicy, but you've got this heavy coat on. And then just see yourself take it off because you want to get a suntan and you want to be able to feel the beach and the sand and the sun and just see yourself drop it on the sand. I don't need that anymore. And just keep doing that over and over again, but make it fun, like get in your body and just done. You let it go.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you, Eleanor. That was a great question because, I also have, well, I don't think I have control issues per se anymore, but I used to be, and I still do in some cases. And for me, it's the lack of trust,
Yeah.
right? So control is fear and lack of trust. So then it's like when I can remember that, or when I get the awareness of, oh, I'm trying to control, it's like, all right, drop back down, be in my heart space, expand out, come back to trust.
Yeah.
It's okay. Everything is fine. I'm safe. Like we were talking about earlier with Jennifer about I'm safe. It's okay.
Yeah. And after if you do that exercise where you release everything or drop your coat, there's a mudra that I love to do. When I first started teaching yoga, I would get really nervous. And it's the compassion mudra where you take your fingers and just place it on your hands on your high heart like this and let yourself know I'm safe. I am safe. Just, taking your hands right there and calms everything down. Oh, yeah, I am safe. It's okay.
That's great. Thank you. Perfect.
You're so welcome.
I love that too. Thank you, Eleanor. All right, there's a question from Linda in the chat. She said, I would love to know if the guides have anything to suggest for a deeper embodiment of the beautiful energy of joy and unconditional love that surrounds us. Sometimes I feel guilty for feeling so good with all the things going on in the world, as if I have to share their pain. I wish to eliminate that and to amplify and energetically share the love and joy out to those needing it.
Yeah. Just continuing to come back to releasing that guilt, releasing the heaviness, releasing the shoulds, the doubts, the fears, the worry. I'll come back to that visualization of how you've got such a heavy coat on and you're out and it's like 85 degrees and it's gorgeous outside. And oh my gosh, why do I have this heavy coat on right now? Let me just take it off. And then that same exercise that I was talking about earlier is after you take it off, like, let me just visualize the things that really bring me happiness that actually will bring a physical smile to your face. You'll feel your whole auric field just light up. And why would you want your light to be covered with this heavy coat that you're wearing? So if you start to feel that density and the heaviness again, well, you know what? Let me take this coat off again. Maybe it came back, or maybe there's another coat that I just need to take off, and just keep repeating it. Again, it's a practice. It's a discipline that we've got to work on. It's like spiritual hygiene. You don't just brush your teeth once in the morning and like your teeth are clean forever. No, you've got to make it a practice and be diligent about it and be responsible with that power.
And I think, embodying the energy of joy and unconditional love first within yourself, like you were saying, Jennifer, like thinking of something that brings you so much joy, embodying that, really feeling it. And then if you want, you can visualize that energy around the planet, around the world, for humanity. You can send it out if you want, but I don't, for me, it's more like if you can embody it, then you're automatically radiating that out. You're already being
Exactly.
that, right?
Exactly.
And so, and then I always remember that being in joy, being unconditional love is a choice that we all have, right? So and it's also a choice for someone to choose suffering, pain, anger, hatred, whatever. It's a choice, right? So don't judge them for having that choice. It's their experience that they're choosing right now. But yes, if you can, be that embodiment of joy and unconditional love, that will automatically radiate out to others, and then they will pick up on that energy, and they will either then choose that or not,
Exactly.
right? But your job is just to embody it.
Exactly.
So without feeling guilty, there's nothing to feel guilty about because everybody's making their own choices. I know it doesn't sound like, how can people possibly be choosing blah, 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 blah. But by you judging them or by you wanting them to be different, you're disempowering them to make their own choices.
Right.
It's a tough one, right? There's a fine balance there, but the more you can focus on yourself and you embodying that love and joy within yourself, the more that is going to help humanity and the collective and the planet.
Yeah. And just making the choices from that space. I choose to live in a world where people are kind and loving and compassionate and create that reality. There's multiple realities existing at once. So why not choose the highest?
Absolutely. But it's such a great reminder, Linda, that, we all can choose to embody more love, more joy for ourselves, as well as humanity and the collective and the planet.
Yeah.
Okay. Eleanor says, thank you for your wisdom. I'm going to go down to a beach after the session and envision removing my heavy coat. It's
Yeah.
also stiff, and leave it at the beach. The
Yes.
tides will deal with the control issues, bringing me more fluidity and acceptance. Love that. Awesome.
Love
Good.
that.
And Sarah is saying, everyone is radiating their vibration to the collective. More people vibrating with joy and love, the collective starts to become filled with joy. Absolutely. So our job is just to embody it. And the more that we can do that, and the more people that do that, the better for everyone. Is it better for everyone? Well, more people will be able to experience it, right? So that is better. Awesome. Thank you so much. Great. Wow. All right. So Jennifer, any last words of wisdom for us today? This has been wonderful. This has been great.
Yeah, I'm just tuning in here because it's wherever you are in this moment right now, you already are that, right? That powerful, beautiful, bright light that you be. You carry that with you at all times. Sometimes it might get a little bit dusty, and what we do is just dust it off and turn the light. The light's always on. It's always on. So it's time to embody that and be who you are, trusting and knowing that it's absolutely perfect. Whatever it might look like. It could be messy, it could be beautiful, it could, whatever it is absolutely perfect. So be that, own it, and be okay with it. And move forward from that space. Like, I am that I am, right? So hum, so hum, so hum. I am
Beautiful.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I am going to have the recordings out in a little while. I will send them out. Check them. Check out. Go back and watch and listen because there's so much wisdom here and information for all of you, all of us, and of course, the special offer. The two master classes and personal session. The master classes begin February 10th, I think. Right. So please do check those out as well. They'll be in the email as well, right? So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. And thank you so much, Jennifer. This was great. First time, but it was great. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. Always grateful.
And thank you everyone for all your questions, comments, feedback, everything. It's beautiful. I love your engagement, right? It brings up so much more than what we plan, right? Because of this conversation. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, everyone. So we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, and I'll send out the recordings in a little while. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all so much love and blessings. Bye for now. Bye, everyone.